Hello, this is a section entitled Creating One or More Billing Accounts. And to be honest, the whole idea of billing is not the most exciting topic, but it is an important one, so we'll go through it. So the first thing you can remember is when we activated our GCP account. When you did that, you actually probably provided a credit card. And behind the scenes, when you did that, it actually created a cloud level resource. Which, what I mean by that is it's not associated with any particular project. It's kind of like, just like a project, it's its own thing. And it's called a billing account. And we're going to explore what that billing account is and what's its relationship with projects are. The next concept is billing accounts themselves are linked to zero or more projects. And in particular, projects also can only be linked to a particular billing account. And one of the things we'll notice is that when we were creating projects, you notice it never talked about billing accounts. That's because we only had one billing account that we had access to. So as we created projects, it automatically was linked to that billing account. So I think the best way of seeing all this is to actually explore it. So I'm going to go back into my project. So I'm in training main. And the first thing you can do is if you go to billing, what that's going to do is, see what happens. So it's automatically going to a billing account screen. And here you can see that I only have one billing account called My Billing Account. And so one thing that's a little confusing, again, is that this billing account is not inside that project, rather than that project happens to be linked to this billing account. Okay, and the kinds of things you can do in here is look at your budgets, and we'll go through some more details here later. You can see that I'm using the free trial, and I can see I've got $300 credit. So basically it gives you an idea of what your spend is on all of the projects that are linked to this billing project. Okay. What we're going to do next is let's look at manage billing accounts over here. And you can see here that you've only got one billing account, right? And then under my projects, you can see the three projects, main, marketing, and monitoring. And you can see that they're all linked to my billing account. Right? So the sort of things you can do here are on this screen, for example, is you can go in here and you can say if you had more than one billing account, right? You can change billing accounts from here. You can also disable billing on a particular project. Now, one problem with disabling billing is that when you do that, some of the resources in that project that, basically it stops billing going forward. You're still responsible for the billing up until that point in time, but it will basically start stopping resources that generate bills. And that's going to break things. So generally, the recommendation in the documentation is to not disable billing, but rather go to the project and shut it down, which will more gracefully shut down resources and is a recommended way of dealing with sort of stopping billing on an account. Okay, so we talked about that. Okay, so the last thing we're going to talk about, let's go back to my billing accounts. If you didn't notice, you can actually create new accounts here. We're not going to do that. I only need one billing account for this whole tutorial, right? But you can create different accounts and then associate different projects with different accounts. One other thing that we're going to look at, though, is I'm going to go into one of the billing accounts, and we're going to look at, if I can get to the bottom of this thing, account management. Okay, so one of the things, let's go back to the screen here. So the question is, so billing accounts live outside of a project, but they have their own concept of identity access management within them, just for the purposes of billing. And there's two roles, just like regular IAM, they use roles. And one is called a billing admin, and one is called a billing user. And there's a couple others, but these are the two main ones that that's probably important to understand. So the billing administrator basically is the owner for the billing account, right? Basically, you can do everything related to that billing account. And you can see that here, my Training Larkin Tucker LLC, which is my admin account essentially that I use to create all the projects, is now the billing account for this, the billing account administrator for this billing account. Okay. What we're going to do here is we're going to actually use this other billing account user called the billing account user, right? And it's basically fairly restrictive, but it basically what it can do is allows another user to associate new projects to this billing account, right? So what we want to do is, for example, to illustrate this, is we're going to take our other user, I think it's Phil, right? And we're going to make them a billing account user, and then we're going to explore, watch them, we're going to go through an exercise where Phil is going to go in and create a new project, and you'll see that it automatically gets associated with this billing project. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to grant a new, add a member. We want to add Phil.Larkin Tucker LLC at gmail.com. I believe that's the account. We're going to assign him as a okay, I really want to only look at billing account user, right? And hit save. So now we can see that Phil is a billing account user, and we're going to go through the exercise as Phil to create a new project. Now I'm going to pause the video for a second because I'm not logged in as Bill. So let me pause and log in as Phil. Okay, we're back. So what we're going to do now is we're going to explore, we switch screens. So now I'm actually now Phil. So I'm logged in as Phil, and here I am. The only project that I have access to is training marketing because that's the one I was made an owner to in a previous, right? So I'm going to create a new project called Training Sales. Training Sales, and leave that alone. I hit create. Let that load. Okay, so the question is, what billing account is this associated with? So let's go back to this screen and let's reload here. And I'm hoping to see Training Sales. Right, you can see now that Training Sales is automatically now linked to this billing account. And the reason why that happened was when we were logged in as Phil, the only billing account that we had access to, so we had billing account. So this is, so you can see that, kind of a sidebar here, I'm logged in as Phil, and you can see that I only gave permissions for Phil to basically, as a user, which allows you to basically connect a project to a billing account, but I don't have permissions to view the billing account. That's a different permission or a different role. But if I go to manage billing accounts, I can certainly see that I have, there's this billing account that I have access to, and that's why I'm seeing this billing account, because that means basically as I create new projects, all my projects will be automatically associated with this billing account. And that's, again, that's what we saw here, automatically got joined to that billing account. I think that's all that we were going to cover. Yep, that's all we're going to cover in this video. So let me pause the video or stop it. Bye.